Great, thank you. Okay, so my name is Anna Sundman. Thank you for having us. Yes, as you said, I'm an energy engineer. I work as a project manager at the Environment and Health Department in the city of Stockholm. Um, I'm a member of a group called Energy Center. We're expert advisors on all energy related matters for the property owners within the organization at the city of Stockholm. So Stockholm has a climate action plan. The one we have now is from 2020 to 2023 because the latest action plan has not yet been adopted by the city council. Um, we are going to become climate positive by 2030, 80% reduction of emissions from the transport sector, a 30% reduction of road traffic, 50% reduction of consumption-based emissions, and a just climate action. Okay, AI and digitalization. The use of AI has been explored within the concepts of smart cities since the early 2010s. This work guided the city towards an innovation strategy formally applied in 2020 that goes beyond any specific technology and discusses the use of new, not yet defined technologies with data under consideration of personal integrity. The city has been active in the policy dialogue about the AI Act of the European Union. The foundation for a framework for responsible use of AI was initiated in 2023. Today and towards 2025, a wider explanation of use cases is underway. And these are some examples. Energy optimization and property management, which my colleague will be talking about later. Elimination of personal data and images. We'd like to provide better care for the elderly and safety analysis for urban planning. And the DigiCity Climate Project, that is within the Action Fund. This is KTH, is the Royal Institute of Technology here in Stockholm. And Håkansson is an associate professor in computer science. She's with us today. They're leading this. And the partners, which I'm a part of, the City of Stockholm, and also an organization called Electricity, and they're based in a part of Stockholm that is called Hammarby Sjöstad, and they have a project where their goal is to become climate neutral by 2030. They work very much with citizen engagement and housing associations. That's where you own an apartment and you own it together with your neighbors. So the aim of this project is to build a digital platform for citizens in the city of Stockholm and researchers to access and interact with data aimed at driving climate actions and fulfilling the city of Stockholm's climate action plan. The first work package is called, that's the AI-driven energy advisor. It's a chatbot. Work package 2 is heat mapping urban microclimates for city planning. And work package 3 is a digital control room for steering local energy consumption in neighboring buildings. I'll tell you more about that shortly. So the energy advisor, Sweden has government-funded public energy advisors for private homeowners, companies, and housing associations. That's where you own your apartment together with your neighbors. They have this in all municipalities in the entire country. And this is how this works today. So currently, someone on the board of the housing associations, that's one of the people who own the apartments, since they run these buildings together, what they'll do is call or email the municipality's energy advisor. And the energy advisor will collect data and visit the housing association after about 2 to 3 weeks for about an hour and a half consultation. And then they write a report on suitable energy saving measures. They send that in about 2 weeks, and they have a follow-up call after about 2 weeks. What the chatbot does, it has access to several databases. It can give high quality suggestions for energy saving measures at any time to anyone. And the energy advisors, then they can focus on more complicated matters that require an in-person consultation. Work package 2, we call this urban heat. It involves heat mapping and urban climates for city planning. Stockholm Heat was a project from 2021 to 2022. It measured outdoor air temperature and humidity, ground temperature, surface temperatures on buildings. They put sensors on moving objects. The models were used to quantify greenery and sky view at the street level in order to assess hyperlocal benefits of urban greenery. So urban heat is a continuation of this. It also includes mapping surf temperatures in detail and also perceived heat using an app that residents can report to. So urban heat, it's an increasing sustainability challenge for urban areas globally, as you know, and also in the Nordic cities. It affects human health, well-being, as well as energy use. So the goal is to explain and compare measured and perceived urban heat through spatial patterns of urban greenery and gray, which is sky. Measured urban heat and gather data from Stockholm Heat 2 project. The perceived urban heat gathers data from Work Package 2. And together with electricity, they analyze data, spatial statistics, and AI. And what we're interested in is in researching heat in Stockholm, and specifically how greenery and green spaces like trees and parks affect urban heat, outdoor temperatures across the country on a local scale. Urban areas overall tend to be a bit warmer than their rural counterparts, so due to various human activities. But even within a city, the amount of excess heat can vary widely. It depends on a multitude of factors. We're investigating new ways of capturing information about the different microclimates that coexist in a city. We want to access precise and real-time data on urban heat. We want to understand how to use this information to create better and healthier cities. For example, this information can be used to design new public spaces, but also in urban planning, which is really important when they're going to build a new a new part of the city. We can also use it to inform policy making. Uh, so this is how this is done today. Cities usually they record this information using ground monitors, but they only give precise data where they're actually located. For the rest of the city, data is calculated. So to collect data in 2021 and 2022, we partnered with these pod taxis. We put a sensor on these. And in the animation, you can see how the temperature higher is red in the street. There are no trees, and then it gets cooler when entering a street next to a park. So these are the results of the scanners. This is from 2021, the previous project. We have radiant heat at midnight to 10 a.m. on the left, and then all hours on the right. And as you can see, the red areas are warm. Actually, some of these they are located by water, and it's not always as obvious how water and these things how they affect the temperature. So that this was sort of surprising in some parts of our city. This time, and we put these sensors. They were installed on waste collection vehicles, and they drive their regular routes, which is great, and we can get the temperatures there. But in the areas where these don't drive, we bought a cargo bike, and here you can see that with a sensor on the top, that white thing. And students rode this bike all summer, actually, to collect data. There's a QR code on this bike, so residents, they were encouraged to report how warm they experience their homes in an app. So the heat perception, different user groups, they were asked how they perceive the temperature comfort in their local urban environments, both indoors and outdoors. And the data will be cross-referenced with collected data on actual temperatures. Okay, work package 3. It's called the digital control room. It's for steering local energy consumption in neighboring buildings. Okay, what it does, it gathers data from sensors for enhanced monitoring and control over energy resources. You have these dashboards for visualization of current and historical data. You get data insights and fault detection, and the elaboration of control signals based on weather forecasts and historical insights, other inputs. There's energy sharing that could be done to identify this and enable this between housing associations. So the neighboring apartment buildings, they can share their data with each other. Okay, and why? Why is this even needed? We have a large portion of data collected and it's not being used. There's no interoperability between subsystems. The challenges have been data access, the management of these different subsystems, the steering systems. So the opportunities are enabling smart decision-making, insights derived from data analytics, maximizing energy efficiency through real-time monitoring. Here's a picture, an example of the dashboard. You can compare the data year to year, even building to building. And the point is to promote collaboration between the housing associations so they can help each other out. And that was the last slide. Thank you.